The cost of the video games was rising as the gaming industry expands and becomes more complex. However, considered how much time, money, and effort goes into the creation of your favorite video games, gaming, like any other commercial enterprise, has begun to incur significant manufacturing expenses. However, unlike in the film industry, game films have been only secrecy about the production, financing, and advertising expenditures. Some of those game films have spent millions of dollars on development, marketing, and advertising. The production cost listed as statistical estimates rather than precise figures. The net production cost of development, marketing, and advertising expenses. Today we'll look at the 10 most expensive video games ever created. The 10 most costly video games ever sold. At number 10, it's Red Dead Redemption. The development budget for Rockstar Western Epic was reported to be around $100 million, with around 800 employees working on the game at the same time. The workload was so intense that several of the developers were recruited from the other studios controlled by parents from Rockstar. The game's development took a whopping 5 years. Red Dead Redemption also was a ravishing marketing effort, was featured in a short film that added Fox. Rockstar demonstrated to the world that they're capable of much more than the simply GTA series with its debut. On number 9, it's Max Payne 3. The cost of making Max Payne 3 was mostly attributable to the fact that the game had been in the production for several years over its initial 2009 release date. When the game was ultimately launched in May 2012, Rockstar started the dealers were necessary to guarantee that the Max Payne 3 offers the best gaming experience possible. To cover development expenses, the game required to sell 4 million copies. The release of Max Payne 3 includes TV commercials that ran during the 2012 UEFA Champions League final, as well as several additional social media marketing. Its development cost around $105 million. On number 8, it's Two Humans. Two Humans cost more than $100 million to create. It is primarily because the game has been still in development for over a decade. Originally intended for the PlayStation, Silicon Knights moved production to the Nintendo GameCube before selling the title to Microsoft as an Xbox 360 exclusive in 2005. The studio lost even more money in the game after Epic Games sued them for unlawful usage of the Real Engine, of which Two Humans was built. On number 7, it's Grand Theft Auto 4. The Rockstar now really pushed the envelope with GTA 4, launching one of the most expensive marketing campaigns ever devised for a game, reportedly spending $100 million dollars in addition to $100 million dollars in production costs. When it was released in 2008, it was the most expensive video game ever developed. The official website included 13 different teasers of 4 different movie trailers, in addition to a TV commercial, viral marketing, and more general promotion. And number 6 is Shenmue 2. The projected production cost Shenmue adjusted for inflation and is whopping $176 million. This is largely due to the fact that Shenmue 2 is a big game with a massive open environment, probably the largest of its kind. To build such a massive game in less than 2 years, a large crew was necessary. Because the game received little to no attention, it's doubtful that any other resources were used for the marketing expenses. At number 5, is Star Wars: The Old Republic. The development of Bioware's member Star Wars: The Old Republic is reported to have begun 6 years before the game release. BioWare said in 2009 that the project had more story content than any of the previous games ever combined, which is why they had a full-team writing team write the screenplay less than 2 years before gameplay production began. It was claimed to be one of the most costly games ever when it was released in 2011. It is estimated that the cost of construction will be between $150 million and $200 million. It is eventually became the fastest growing massively multiplayer online game in history. And number 4 is Final Fantasy VII Squad's first effort into 3D technology. The Final Fantasy franchise needed the collaboration of 120 programmers and archers, making it the most costly video game ever created at that time. This featured a promotion with Pepsi advertising and major magazines like Rolling Stone and Playboy, as well as Marvel and DC Comics and many TV commercials. After a Raymond marketing campaign, the game was ultimately released in 1997. Square spent around $213 million on Final Fantasy VII development and marketing, adjusted for inflation. And number 3 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the first-person shooter published in 2009 as the sixth installment in the Call of Duty series. Following the universal critical praise that Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare earned, it's no wonder that the Infinity Ward decided to go with the sequel's marketing campaign. In addition to the development cost of $40-50 million USD, almost $200 million was spent on the game's different promotional materials. And number 2 is the one and only, yes, you guessed it right, as Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a 213 action adventure game published by Rockstar Games and developed by Rockstar now. It's the first major addition in the Grand Theft Auto series since the Grand Theft Auto in 2008. While Rockstar spent a lot of money to promote and create GTA 4, it didn't stop them from going even further in the game's sequel, GTA 5, which reportedly cost $265 million, requiring 1,000 Rockstar staff from across the world to work on the game for several years. Los Santos is a realistic recreation of Los Angeles at the game's massive open world scope. It's claimed to be the reason for the project's line. And number 1 is none other than Destiny. Last year, the gaming world was stunned to learn that the Activision has spent $500 million for buying its first-person shooter Destiny. However, the claim that the game costed around $500 million to build and sell is not entirely accurate, as there is a counting plan to generate content for the game or promote it over the next 10 years. While Destiny is a long-term commitment for Activision, it is also the most costly video game ever developed. It is an online-only, multiplayer, first-person shooter video game developed by Bungie and previously published by Activision. Destiny is now self-published with Bungie after separating from Activision in 2019. So we end up with our list for this video. But we do have some more amazing videos to check them out and enjoy them with some popcorn. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. To live. Bye bye.